Hello, hello. Well, guess who forgot to connect VBridger? Hold on. Okay, my soul is now within my body. Hi, hi. Welcome, welcome. Who's joined us? Hi, Orca. Hi, Goldie. Hi, Kay. Like, I wanted to have the name Abyss, but someone took it. Yeah, that is the downside of generic names. I'm sorry. My brain is still waking up. In fact, when I was coming up with a name for this little goober, right? I wanted one that wasn't so common where if you Google it, other things pop up. I did find like a couple of Ordicais, right? I think the most important one or like the largest one there was just like some very obscure character from like some game, right? I think like some NPC somewhere, right? And then I was thinking, if I choose this name, sure, it's not 100% unique, but it is unique enough that I can just yoink this and make it my own. Now if you Google my name, right? I think I'm the only thing that like really pops up. So yeah, mission successful, guys. We did it. Hello, awesome people. Hi, Kay. F being awesome when you have weapons. Murder hoboing in D&D does. I won't stop you. I'll be like, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But if you act like criminals in the D&D world, you will be treated like criminals. So if you want to go for a dark campaign where you guys are either morally gray or evil, that's all good. So long as everyone decides like beforehand the morality of the group, because you guys kind of have to be a little bit aligned. How's it going, fellow abominations of nature? I don't think we're abominations. We're just silly little guys. Did you take a nap early? Yes, I did. And I thought today was Wednesday for a second. And I was like, oh crap, we have the D&D thing. But that's tomorrow for those who are interested. Where did the abomination thing come from? I'm a humanoid orca. I also need one more handler. Look, it's a very noble trait to handle ourselves. Glad you took a nap. Yeah, it was nice. It was interrupted because there was an electrician who came by. I think like once every 5 years, they do have to like inspect the house, make sure things won't catch fire. So yeah. But how have you guys been? I've not been up to anything interesting. I'm just thinking in D&D, is there an orca race? They probably is. Don't play with the stove. Don't worry, I don't cook that much. And if I do, it's either an oven or an air fryer. I don't just like to call people weird things. Understandable. I did see what's it called? Mm, I saw like a I think it was a reel, right? Of just someone saying, "Oh, I love the British accent. You can call anyone anything and it sounds like an insult." And it just was I think like 2 minutes of him calling people something like a microwave or a salted cucumber, that kind of stuff. But with the accent, I don't know, it was amusing. There's an orca race? Okay, if it's not official, someone has made something. If that is what you're interested in, I will look for something. And if there isn't anything that's nice or balanced, I can make one. In fact, I had a friend who was like Hey, I want to be a god, right? I want to be the god of shawarma. So what I did was I created like a celestial being, basically cleric style magic, but they don't get their magic from a god. It's just they believe in themselves so much to the point that that's where the power comes from. I think it was like a meme and stuff. But hey, I turned it into a canon thing, and I think like half my current players decide to use that race. It might be a bit strong, but yeah, filthy min maxers, I tell you. And play with the stove, or is it instant nose? Yeah, don't worry. I don't use the stove. Yeah, I'm a special orca. I need special care. Mm, I don't know. It's nice to be pampered and spoiled, but I admire independence a lot. It's a very it's a very underrated trait, you know? It's why I like cats, truth be told. One Piece would like to disagree about orcas needing handlers. You know, I don't know too much about orcas. Not a wild orca. Were you raised in captivity? Should we be concerned? Should we call someone? How big are orcas? About 3,000 to 4,000 kg. They're massive. Don't orcas die in captivity? Usually if they're not taken care of. Like for example, I think there's some like animals, if you put them in a cage, they get so depressed they die. Can orcas live in captivity? Orcas do not thrive in captive conditions, yet there are at least 60 orcas in captivity around the world today. So I guess they can survive, but I don't think they'll be happy. I think they need a lot of space. Yeah, it says it's unhealthy, cruel, and dangerous. But I guess if it's like one of those ones that are like super injured and can't survive in the wild, maybe I can see a case for it. I don't know. I'm not too fond of animals in cages, you know, like zoos and stuff. Like I'd go to the pet shop back in Malaysia, and I see like they have these glass displays, and they have like those expensive cat breeds in there, and you know they're just like sitting there sulking. I feel so bad. I just put my hand in the glass. I'm like, one day I shall free you, my brethren. Pretty sure the ones that are in captivity go crazy or die. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They don't do so well. Yeah, expensive. It's expensive. Yeah, like the special cat breeds. At first, I was wondering who even buys these things, and then I went to like a cat cafe because I went with a friend and their mom. They wanted to go to a cat cafe, so when I went there, literally all the cats there are those expensive breeds, and yeah, I realized, oh, so this is probably the target demographic, so to speak. You know, people who are either super rich and throw money. Because I'm thinking there are probably not too many people like that who make that expensive purchases for cats like that. But if it's a business like a cafe, sure, that makes a lot more sense. My handler puts me in a small tank. That's hilarious. 10K for a kitten, that is crazy. I would see like for like 2 to 5,000 ringgit, which is about 1,000 US dollars. For I think like Siamese cats, the British short hairs, you know those ones? Yeah. I mean, a cat is a cat at the end of the day. But I guess the people who buy them, who are not like cat cafe businesses, would probably be the same people who buy like branded, super expensive clothes. I do have a friend like that. I was going shopping with her one day, and she was looking at stuff. She's like, "Oh, I want to buy my boyfriend this one." She's looking at this like, "Oh, this is like a $400 jacket. I think he'll like this one." Puts it in the cart, and I was like, "That's like half my monthly living expenses," and I'm like, "That is crazy." But I do understand. Some people just that's what they like, and hey, if you can afford it, go for it. It was just never for me. I'm more of a utility person rather than branding and all that stuff. But it's just me. It's all personal opinion. I guess my parents are like that. So I guess, that's how I was raised. Hello, hello, hi, Hot Shack. Welcome, welcome. Cats cost way less than humans. Yeah, okay. If we start discussing the cost of humans, I think we're like inching into probably a very dark territory. I love Maine Coons. But they're expensive. I have, Okay. Here's my hot take. I don't like super fluffy cats because the fur gets everywhere. I like my little kitties because they're the normal like domestic cats, right? Like I found they're basically found in a dumpster, both of them. I think they're both former strays. So yeah, just brush them like every few days and never have to worry about fur. And cats that cost at least 10K. 10K what currency? Because I've seen them for like 2K Malaysian ringgit. Malaysian ringgit? Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, that's about $2,500 for the non Southeast Asian people here. But hear me out, big ass cat. Honestly, probably super fun to cuddle with if they're the kind that enjoy that. Maybe if you get them like as a really small kitten and kind of desensitize them into like cuddling. Yeah, that makes sense. If I can put cat ears on and I would be a big cat or something. Okay, that's probably not the same thing. Just see Wally jumping around. I don't know what's into him and what's gotten into him today. He's just very playful. He was chewing on my hand earlier. It's like his favorite toy. Honestly, I'd wave string around. He'd he'd chase it like for a bit, but then slowly lose interest. But my hand, I wiggle my fingers. Immediately, he's pouncing. Oh yeah. So those who are interested in like the D&D thing, we are having it tomorrow. I think basically everyone who showed interest in like the thing in the TTRPG channel said they're available tomorrow. So yeah, that'll be fun. I have to make sure I don't dox myself on Roll20 because that's like the platform I use. So yeah, that'll probably be my day tomorrow. I'll check through the notes because before what I would do is like in people's journals, if you have like a basically a wiki page of like everyone's characters. At the top one would say played by and then insert my friend's name. So yeah, before I used to do that. I cleared it now, and yeah, I think I went through it before once. It should not dox me. My goal is to get a purebred Maine Coon baby, so yeah, more stuff for me to be money hungry. Yeah, gotta make sure those clips take off, monetize them and all. Yesterday I was so mad a streamer called me a killer whale. That's so racist, just curious and playful, not killers. Are orcas? Wait, orcas are the ones called killer whales, right? Uh, orcas, killer whales. Oh yeah, they are. They're called killer whales, but they're not dangerous, are they? I think they eat fish, right? You know what? Today's stream should be titled "Googling Orca Facts." What do orcas eat? Okay, they eat fish, marine animals, seabirds, and even other whales. Okay. They might they do kill animals. So, technically speaking. Yeah, they eat things like seals, birds. They also hunt whales, so yeah, probably don't pet one if you encounter them in the ocean. Dolphins, however, can be a bit I have read the stories of how like freaky they are. I did go swimming in the deep sea once. Like we went out on a boat to see like the dolphins and stuff, and you can just like swim in the water. Trust me, that was terrifying. Imagine being in like the deep ocean. You have your little goggles and then you look down and all you see is just a dark abyss, right? I panicked. So what I would do is I would just swim there, my head above the water. I'm like, do not look down, do not look down, do not look down, do not look down. So yeah, and that seemed to work. We did see some wild dolphins. They did like swim up to us, just check us out. They were wild, so they weren't like they were curious about humans, but they were kind of scared. Like they'd keep their distance. They're just like, what the hell are these things, right? So yeah, that was pretty fun. I did try to like slowly move up to one and like pet it, but it saw me approach and immediately swam away. But yeah, do be careful. Animals in the wild, they can be dangerous. Don't let Disney fool you. Even basic things like deer and even something like goats and cows, right? They can be dangerous. Not because like they have bloodlust or anything. It's just some of them can be really big, and they could hurt you without even noticing, right? Like if a cow kind of just like turns the wrong way and you're next to it, it'll send you flying. So yeah, you gotta be careful. Honestly, that's why I like cats over dogs. A dog can hurt you if it like really really tries. A cat, I don't think so. Not unless you're kind of like an ass towards it. That it'll probably defend itself, right? Like for example, a stray cat. Um, if it's scared of you, it'll run away unless it's backed in a corner. Then it'll be forced to fight you. A dog, however, they always bark and they run up towards me. So yeah, I don't like that. Maybe they can sense I'm a cat under the human disguise. So yeah. There are times like back when I was in Malaysia, I'd be walking down the street and I'd be taking a new route. I'm like, this is a shortcut. Why does no one walk here? And as I'm like halfway there, I see like a pack of dogs kind of just like loitering around in like some little grassy patch by the side of the road. As soon as I try to avoid them, so I even cross the road. But as I like kind of in quotes get close, like a couple hundred meters, right? They would see me instantly get up, start barking, and they would start approaching. So yeah, I not too fond of stray dogs. Can we send Oriflang? No, you cannot. And you think the size of me is in the size of teacup? We could easily. Okay, first of all, do you see this teacup? Right? I can make it bigger. You can send me flying if I'm the size of a building. Can you send this flying now? I don't think so. There we are. It should be evil. I don't even think they're evil, right? Like, for example, an animal will see you and just kill you for no reason. It's not evil. It's an animal. It's following its animal instincts. Can you send this brick flying? I mean, with magic, sure. Ow. Okay, we have the. Let me put on the Colonel Sanders game. Where's my Steam? Because I realized that's what the category is, and we are yapping. Okay, I hope it captures. I hope it's not too loud. Okay, it should be good. Seems like you failed. Okay, I'm not the best at dodging things, okay? Also, I really love this intro. Okay, I think last time we were like a third of the way in. Oh, oops. Let me get rid of those. God, it's Colonel Sanders. I might be a tiny bit late on D&D since I'm going to the movies with a cousin. How late is a tiny bit late? Because I do have friends who are like, oh my god, I'm going to be so late. And then they show up like 5 minutes late. Others will be like, yeah, I'll be there in a couple minutes and show up in 30. So yeah. God, it's Colonel Sanders. I do love the art. 40 minutes or an hour. Okay, don't worry about it. Again, it's not the game. It's just session zero. Session zero is just going over the rules and making people's characters. Simping for a fictional character count as cheating. In my opinion, no. Oh, we've already gone through this. Hold on. What was the last thing we did? Also, is my mic okay? Because when playing with friends, they told me I was just randomly too loud. I realized when picking up my mic, I accidentally turned up the gain on the microphone. When I have a divorce. Okay. I think we were almost here. Okay. I think this is where we reached, right? Damn, Orchid divorced me over. Honestly, better to rip the band-aid off now. Okay. Colonel, I wondered if I could talk to you for a second. What exactly was on that chicken? Oh wait, he already told us this. He gave us the secret. Okay. Yeah, we were here. I remember this. Yeah, we're gonna be modest and thoughtful. I can't just not simp over. Okay. How would I put it this way? I'm trying to form the correct words. I feel like people who are always like scared and offended about like, okay, it's obviously a joke here, but I know people who are like this IRL. The only thing it tells me is lots of insecurity. Oh wait, sorry. This is where we were. Sorry. On that topic, right? If someone is always like worried that for example, if you have a partner who's like always scared that you're cheating on them when you don't text them back like within 5 minutes, you should probably talk to them, get to the bottom of their insecurities. And if what's that called? They they keep freaking out and like they say this is obviously a problem. Got to figure out, are you willing to put up with that? Or because I personally wouldn't. But then again, I feel like I have a very low tolerance for nonsense, so to speak. I'm like, hey, this is a problem. It's okay. Let's work on it. I think my only issue ever is when people have issues and they don't want to work on them. For me, that's a deal breaker. What's the difference between me drawing hot men and me looking at drawings others made of hot men? I guess your own creations are, how would you say this? Since you created it, some people always look at it kind of like a child, so to speak. I mean, that's kind of how I look at what's it called? How do you say this? I lost my train of thought already. I think my mind is very scattered today. Oh right, sorry, I remember what we were talking about. Um yeah, your own creation. Some people kind of view them as like their children, you know? I know I have that a little bit. Oh, he my baby, that's for sure, but I mean, I guess you could just pinch their cheek, be like, what a handsome young fella, you know? Okay, you step into the massive cooking arena where the afternoon lesson will take place. Each student gets an oven and all the tools and ingredients they could need. Wait a second. Oh no, we have to show our stuff. What if I totally blow it? You're not gonna blow everything, except maybe kisses to the crowd of fans you're gonna earn with your signature adorable tiny food creations. I kinda like her. She's growing on me. Sprinkle says, welcome students to the cooking arena. For today's lesson, we shall be cooking with partners. Hurry up and pair off. Naturally, Miriam looks over at you, but you're unable to control yourself. You pound on Colonel Sanders. You know, I'm glad that they forced me into it because I could not abandon my homie that way. Stop simping, or I get the papers and I will take half your moolah. Well, good luck with that, I suppose. The doggo always loved the best boy. Yeah, he's so cute. Although I don't like his eyes, they're far too human. Half of zero is zero. Exactly. Hey, Colonel, would you like to tackle this lesson as a team? Team of two, that is me and you, if that wasn't clear. That's very an awkward thing to say and very on brand for me. Wanna be my partner? Sure, Ori, I'll prepare our station. You know, poor Miriam. Well, I guess she has pop, so. Well, I guess she has her own love triangle drama to sort out, so I'll leave her to it. Looks like you'll have to pick for her. Friend duties can be a little bit awkward, but that's the price you pay for not being forever alone. Hmm. Okay, she did seem to think he was cute, so we're gonna do her a solid and pair them up so that I can focus on the colonel. Pop gives a big smile as he steps up at the same station as Miriam. He holds up a banana and, without peeling it, proudly eats the entire. You know, I should have gone for the robot. As the lawyer shreds your paper. You don't. How do you say this? You can like rip up a document. That I don't think counts as it not existing. Because if someone says, hey, they tore up the document, here are the pieces, you can clearly see this and that, I think it still holds up in court. It's disconcerting, but Miriam is too kind to aggro out. Okay, you know what? I made a mistake. Sorry, buddy. Okay, she's like, really, this kid? But when we first saw him, she's like, isn't he kind of cute? You know? Hey, I can't be blamed for this. Okay, now it's time to focus on your cooking classwork. Sprinkle says, all right, you two, for today's lesson, we're gonna keep it simple. Pick a basic dish and divide up the steps. No chef is an island. It takes two flints to make a fire. You get the idea. I hate cooking with other people unless I am following instructions, right? Either either I'm in charge or they're in charge. Or we're following a recipe to a T, right? That's fine. Which dish do you suggest to your partner, Colonel Sanders? Okay. Hmm. What if we use mashed potatoes and gravy and canonically are the ones who created the KFC recipe for it? I've always been something of a down home chef. I was thinking we could make something warm, inviting, comforting. Maybe mashed potatoes. I'm realizing there's a whole secondary plot of love, betrayal, and law happening in the chat. So I'm just gonna let that happen in the background. Couldn't imagine one without the other. Colonel Sanders casts a Coy, look at you, causing your whole face to go beet red. Embarrassed, you quickly turn away. You know, I don't think I've ever blushed before. It's one of those things that I would read about, maybe see like in a show. I didn't think it was real. I straight up thought it was a fictional thing until I saw it IRL. Then I'm like, oh, I guess I just don't have that setting enabled. Either that or I just don't do embarrassing things. Friend I flirted with made me blush too many times. I mean, like physical reaction, like face gets warm, someone visibly sees it get red. Is that what you mean by blushing, or are you more talking in a metaphorical sense? I do mean that understandable. Today I learned the weird Rizground. If someone starts making animal noises in even in a flirtatious setting, I am immediately. I feel like put off is too strong of a word, but I find it strange. Okay. I say I'll go get the potatoes. No, please let me. Picking perfect produce is a passion of mine. You know, that's nice because he's doing most of the work. I find that noise so funny. You know, I actually don't think I've heard it. I'm not on things like TikTok. I do have a friend, right? He every time he scrolls through, he sends me TikToks, but he knows I never opened the app. So what he does is he's like at the end of every month, he calls it my pilgrimage, right? Where I open the app and I look at the 100 TikToks he sent me, and it usually takes like 20 minutes, right? I didn't find it on TikTok. Ah, okay, so whenever there's a strange trend going on, I always assume that is the birthplace. I apologize. Ashley says, looks like things are getting pretty fresh around here. Does someone have a crush on Colonel Sanders? Yeah. Just cooking partners, mind your own business. You know what? Ow. We can just say these things with our chest. No need to be embarrassed. Sanders' heart is my business, and you better keep your finger. Oh, she said, better keep your fingers off my man. I thought it said keep your fingers out of my man, and that has a very different meaning. Anyways, I must leave because I cannot see seller simping. Understandable. Perhaps when things are not so fresh, you can return. So yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll see you around. Bye bye. Van Van says, "Did someone call for me?" No one did. No, geez, Van Van. I'm over here crushing Audie's dreams. You're supposed to be taking care of our classwork. That was the deal, remember? She's so mean. Colonel Sanders returns, arms full of peeled potatoes. He tosses them into the boiling water and turns his attention to you and your old friends. I mean, with friends like these, do we really need enemies? Oh, howdy there, Ashley. Van Van. Are we working in a quartet instead of a duet now? Actually, no, it looked like Ordy was struggling, so we offered to give them a hand. You know how it is. These young amateur chefs need a lot of mentoring. Okay. Grabbing grabbing the pot of boiling water, we're throwing it at them. Sorry. What game are you playing? This is called crap, what is it called? I think it's called I Love You, Colonel Sanders. What is the full name? Hold on, hold on. It's called I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger licking good dating simulator. Oh, misread? Misread what? Did I mistype something? I think the title is okay, right? Yeah, romancing the Colonel again. Colonel Sanders dating sim. Yeah, I didn't use the name, the official name, because it is like long. Okay, truth be told, you're like a usually yap 90% of stream, but you're playing games crazy. That is why I play games like this, where I don't stop the yapping, and it doesn't require me to lock in 100%, if that makes sense. So yeah, I only ever play games where what's it called? I will ever play games where I can like focus on yapping 100% of the time while this is basically in the background. It's the same when I do art, right? I'm doing the art, but I'm also just yapping. Odi, you're really dense and awesome. Thank you. I'm ignoring the dense part though. For those who don't have the 7TV emotes, I have decided to start censorship. Hold on. Let me share this in Paint. Yeah, so I have decided because I would always be called dense and incompetent. So I use the 7TV emotes to change the word incompetent to the word awesome. This is not a democracy. It is a catocracy where only cats are allowed to vote. So only I get a vote here. Who says you're incompetent? Mean people. But yeah, I thought it was funny. And misspell it. Yeah, if you misspell it, it's fine. It doesn't count then. Incomprehensibly uneducated. Hey, that is not true. I have a very shiny degree in a very technical course. I don't think degrees actually are a sign of intelligence, so to speak, you know? Because to be honest, I know far too many people who have graduated with like a degree but don't have brain cells to rub against each other. Man, yep, that's how it is. If it's not spelled correctly, it's propaganda, and we ignore propaganda. Oh, really? I mean, yeah, it's how would you say this? Sure, degrees are something to be proud of, but just because someone has one is not a guarantee that they are competent. They are, for example, when I was working as an intern, right? One of my fellow interns as well. He's very academic person. He 4.0 GPA, had degree everything, And he's like, guys, I have all of this thing. I do not know shit about what we're doing here. Right? It's like when it comes to tests, he breezes through them. When it comes to actually doing anything, he's like, nope. Which is okay, right? Because when you get a degree, it just means you have a foundation in the topic. Work experience is usually where people judge your competence, right? Because if you're like horribly incompetent, then most people wouldn't hire you. Like, for example, if you get hired and you prove to be incompetent, they fire you, right? If that makes sense. Yeah, Van Van says, I was gonna say, Colonel Sanders, maybe I could also teach you a thing or two about fancy food. Maybe one day you might be able to get up to my level. Ha, doubt it. Okay, we're gonna fist fight him too. I've been there for that one. Yeah, understandable. Don't be rude, Van Van. You know what? Be rude, Van Van. Ruin your friend's chance, okay? First, I have no doubt whatsoever to Colonel Sanders' ability to concoct creations worthy of admiration. After all, your fried chicken was quite spectacular. But, Colonel, if you ask me, I might be a better partner for you than this thing that has positioned itself at your station. I like that he's put off by her. Even when just got into young adulthood, it doesn't change a whole lot. In what sense? I smelled something. I smelled smoke, but it might be from outside, and I don't know if it's my electric blankets or not. I have that fear of if I smell something burning, it's one of my inventions that have caught fire. It has happened a couple times. Like I developed a Pavlovian response to the smell of burning plastic. So yeah, I don't know about here, but in my home country, like it's not uncommon for people to just like burn garbage. And I would get like the smell of burning plastic. If I'm at home, immediately my mind clocks to what thing have I made that has caught fire. So yeah. I just got into young adulthood. It doesn't change a whole lot. Productivity or intelligence. Yeah, it's a very gradual thing. You don't notice like a change. Tell me you made a fire hazard in your bed. Okay, I tested it out for a while. It's not gonna burn. And the box said it has overheating protection. But just to be safe, let me just take a look. Okay, I'm back. Nope, it is definitely the neighbors. I saw smoke coming from their garden, so either they're having a barbecue or their house is burning down. Either way, we're back to the game. But yeah, as you were talking about productivity, intelligence, etc., right? I feel like the most common rule of thumb is by 25, uh what's it called? By 25, that is like when your brain has kind of fully matured. So yeah. Because you're smoking hard already. We have a no flirting rule here. So yeah, tone it down. I get it. I pretty. But yeah, we have a rule for that. Against that, sorry. That's a general rule. It's biology. That's your brain fully develops by the time you're like 25. Like legally you're an adult by like 18, but I think most people from like 18 to like 22-ish are still like in their young and dumb era, you know? So yeah. Because now I'm still in my early 20s. Yeah, don't worry. Like 3 years from now, you'll probably look back and kind of cringe. And then 3 years after that, you look back and cringe again. That is a good thing, right? Do you ever like I know a lot of people hate that, right? People who look back and like, oh my god, I did this thing that was so cringe. Oh, had this awkward interaction, or this. Or you see old photos like that was my hairstyle, that was my fashion choice, right? That's a good thing, right? Do you know who doesn't cringe at their past self? People who don't grow and improve. So yeah, every time you cringe, take that as a sign that you have grown as a person and hopefully become better. I always have flashbacks at random times of the day. Yeah, understandable. All that means is you are better than the time you are flashing back to. So take comfort in that. Yeah, it is definitely the neighbors. I did smell the smoke yesterday, but I couldn't see the smoke from the neighbor's yard. So I did turn off all the electric blank. I did like touch them and they were only slightly warm. They weren't even like hot or anything. Is it because you worry about the things of the past? Okay, it depends. Like when you look back, is it oh god, that was a stupid thing. Why did I do that? Or is it like worrying about something that could affect the present, right? Because those are two very different things. If you're like, oh, why did I do that? That was so stupid. I shouldn't have done that. I should have done something else. That's mostly just growth, I suppose. So yeah, don't stress about it. It's very normal, happens to everyone. I find like the older I get, the less it happens. Because I guess like the older you are, the less important trivial things become. Because I did have like problems which when I was like much younger, maybe I felt like were massive. But looking back now, I realized, oh, they were just like childish and mundane. I have other things to deal with, you know? I have this theory, right? Like a person can only care about like maybe like a handful of things. It changes. Say, for example, you can only care about 10 problems, right? And it's only the 10 biggest ones. This is just general. This is number, for example. Could be more, could be less. If you don't have big problems, you'll focus on the very mundane and unimportant things. So, yeah. If you have time to focus on like high school drama and I say high school drama meaning it is like childish drama, not like you are in high school, right? You probably need bigger problems in life, you know. I don't mean problems like things going bad. I say problems like things that you dedicate your energy to. So yeah. A little bit of cat wisdom today. Anyway, Ashley says, "Don't you feel deep down we can cast complementary shadows? We fit together like a thigh and drumstick. It just makes sense." She's trying to rope him in with chicken analogy. We cannot stand for that. Nothing about this makes any sense, but one thing is clear. She's coming for Colonel if you don't watch out. Okay, fist fight right here, right now. I see knives here, but no, that could get us in jail. Bowl. If it's a metal one, we can use it multiple times. But if it's a glass one, hmm. The shattering glass, added effect, bleeding damage. No one gets between me and the Colonel, okay? Okay. Okay, he seems put off. Why is Ashley written like that? Oh, yesterday it says, oh, her name is just like normal Ashley, but she added the different spelling because she's like pretentious, I suppose. Is that an actual val? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, Miriam has her own problems. He was put off by her, so I can turn to him. I'm here to learn and to express myself via my cuisine, not bicker with prima donnas. partners were chosen at the beginning of class, so let's all respect that format. Yeah, we are lawyering up. You turn to Colonel Sanders to confirm that you're on the same page. I chose Colonel Sanders, and Colonel Sanders chose me. Isn't that right? I do say ew, but I would say have a little bit of sympathy for those people because they did not choose their names. Because at the end of the day, they were kind of just born with it. Now, if they had a name change and pick that, yeah, that's a whole different story. Colonel Sanders says a businessman respects all fair agreements from contracts to handshakes. I took Ordi as my partner for this activity, and I stand by it. Perfect. We win in her face. Okay. Being defended by Colonel Sanders leaves you feeling proud and full of potential. By the way, since I did not see Orca work on the already made art, I'm working on it right now. Currently done putting the base colors, adding some small details. Ah, okay. Hello, everyone. Can't stay long, but hope you're doing well. Hi, Jumper. Long time no see. Welcome, welcome. We are trying to romance Colonel Sanders. This is him over here. And yes, Colonel Sanders, the KFC guy. You look for Sprinkles in hopes that he might step in, but he's nowhere to be found. Down those cute corgis and their short but sturdy stature. You look down at your station and realize that in the tension of your moment, your hands have been cooking on autopilot. You know, that is a that is a useful thing. I wish I could zone out and have a meal in front of me. Distracted by the drama, you've already crushed the boiled potatoes into a perfectly creamy mash texture, with plenty of butter and cream for flavor. It's as if your natural passion has guided you through the steps you know so well while your attention was elsewhere. Finally starting my reference sheet. A reference sheet for what? I know just what to do, says Colonel Sanders. He extends his hand, holding a beautiful white porcelain gravy boat, out which pours a smooth brown gravy, smothering your nearly finished potato dish. Gravy flows down the mound of mashed potatoes. The results look spectacular. Granny would be very proud. Eventually gonna try make my own model, lol, but never got a design made. Understandable. I would say the first thing is having a rough design. Have like an idea, a theme, and then from that build a design. If you have experience, like as if you're an artist, forgive me if I'm not, I don't know. If you've mentioned it, I may have forgotten. Yeah, if you're like already an artist, then you probably know what to do. If not, try looking up like some tips on designs, right? Themes, designs, etc. It's very very helpful. It's always just like little bits of knowledge, and it's very very helpful. I used to struggle with like character design in the past. Maybe still do a little bit, but yeah. Sorry for the unsolicited advice. I saw that immediately. I flashed back to my struggles. Yeah. Colonel Sanders holds a spork out to you. You reach out and grab hold of it, but he doesn't immediately let go. The two of you stand holding the same spork, and for that small moment, all of the madness and pressure in this crazy world just stops. Your eyes lock. The moment is electric. Time stands still. If you love something, set it free. Together, you dig the utensil into the mashed potatoes and lift a heaping sporkful up. When you see Ashley with a sinister look, you know she's plotting against you to be with Colonel Sanders. Then, filled with rage without thinking, you fling the sporkful of mashed potatoes right into her stupid face. Awesome. And main issues is always making it even and consistent. Current progress in the web channel. Oh, okay, we can take a look at it after. I always love when people share art in our Discord. Ashley says, Van Van, do something. Do something. Scooping up a fingerful, Van Van tastes the dripping mashed potatoes and gravy and realizes it's delicious. Horrified by this revelation, he slinks away. Will he ever be able to cook something with so much love and integrity? Okay, first of all, that is disgusting. It was all over her face. You don't know what she has put on there, right? The human skin naturally produces oils. That's unhealthy. Secondly, she might have moisturizer, she might have sunblock, right? She might have foundation, she might have makeup. And he's just scooped in a fingerful of all of that. Disgusting. Don't mind me, I'm just a little bit germophobic. Sprinkle says, hold it right there, Ordy. We do not waste food in the broom cooking arena. Colonel Sanders, I expect better from you. If you throw one more spoonful, you'd both better be prepared to eat it from wherever it lands. Ew. Can I has potatoes? Okay, is it still against the rules if he asks politely for it? Van Van rushes back over, a covered dish in hand. Mashed potatoes with gravy? Pathetic. In a few minutes, I've prepared a full meal. Gaze upon my specialty. Braised tentacle of octopus in my silky saltwater sauce, plated with a battle axe forged by my supreme chef ancestors. Pretty cool. The knife next. Okay, we don't actually want to go to jail. You've ignored me for too long. In the sense now, it is I who will be the first bite, and you will all look at me with envy. The interrupting student rushes at Van Van and swipes a bite of his signature dish right off the plate. Something about this dish doesn't strike my nose quite right. I think the octopus was rushed and may have turned in the process. The results could be toxic. Oh, we have ads. Oops. Gotta sip on some water. So welcome to the ads yapping session. How have you guys been? Who doesn't have ads? Show of hands. Speaking of improperly prepared food, sometimes I'm very cautious when it comes to eating out at restaurants, because one of my housemates is like a health and safety inspector when it comes to like food inspect. I don't know what they're called. They make sure the restaurants are like up to code and like doing things properly. The stories they have told me, I never want to eat out again. How about show a brick? Well, you just saying that already tells me you don't have ads. So, mission accomplished. Need 16 more points to throw bricks? That is assuming I don't immediately increase the price. Capitalism for the win. I don't like ads, even though I have uBlock on Firefox. You mean you don't get them or don't like them? Anyway, what's it called? Sorry, lost my train of thought there. I get them on Twitch? Yeah. Adblock has not been doing so good lately, especially for YouTube. Do that, I'll refund all the points to everyone. Abuse of power in this community? How dare. I'm saving my coins, understandable. You know, on one hand, I do understand why ads exist. They're the reason things are, in quotes, free on the internet. If that was not the case, right, then most of the stuff that we love and enjoy, like, you know, YouTube, Twitch, etc., just straight up wouldn't exist because, you know, who's paying for it? Like to store videos, images, etc., that takes servers. Those servers are like storage space, right? So it's very expensive to run a service like that. So yeah, I don't like ads, but I do understand why they exist. I must take a shower and get ready for work. Have a great day, and thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again soon. Bye bye. 30-second ad kills me. Ooh, yeah. Here, I set it to like 3 minutes of ads, mostly because A, they're less frequent, and B, I can use them as an excuse to go get water. So yeah, that's why it always says like, hey, feel free to like, get up, get a snack, get water, etc. Work has kept me from joining in, sadly. Understandable. Quit your job. There are more important things in life, like watching Purple Cat on Twitch. I just kid. Have a great day. And yeah, it is a bummer you can't join us, but hey, things change. You know, we have a Voz channel now. I haven't like properly advertised it, but hey, it's all good. I would love to. Yeah, please don't quit in order to watch more stream. If anything, you should find ways to watch stream while at work. That's doable. That's what I used to do. But yeah, we have bills to pay. So, money is nice. Maybe I should set the stream to like a mature content. That way people don't get ads. Oh, not just. Yeah, yeah, I know. Don't worry. I was making a joke. Oh, yeah, yeah. I do make a. I have made the VOD channel and I've started uploading them. I haven't been very consistent with them. So there's usually like a few days delay before the VOD is up. But I have been having fun making the thumbnails. Hold on, let me show you a couple. Where are they? Mm-hmm. Here they are. Okay. Open with this. Okay, hold on. Let me just put them all in one canvas. Okay, here they are. 1 second. Okay, let me switch to paint. Okay. See this one? This was the stream where I created the middle finger toggle. I titled it The Tables Have Turned. I forgot what it's called. I think it's like The Tables Have Turned, I Bully Chat Now. Second one is Cat Tries to Sell You House, Not a Scam, because we're playing House Flipper. And then I think I missed a stream. Like I took a break because I needed to recover my voice. It was like messed up. And when I came back, I was like, I missed you guys. And I made this little thing. I made this a while ago, but I turned it into a little banner, right? I like this image so much. It's the little Wolverine missing person slash thing here. I even made it my offline banner. So like if you click on the chat when I'm not here, this is what it shows. It's me missing y'all. So yeah. Yep, that's what I want to do with my life. I want to watch Purple Cat, work for Purple Cat. I'll probably die unpaid intern. Hey, if I had my way, you wouldn't be unpaid intern. I'm trying my best. That's so cute. Thank you. I really like it. I made this just like a random shit post like a while ago. And I'm like, what if I convert it into a banner? And yeah, so this is like these are our current VOD thumbnails. I made this little banner on the side with the date, right? I stole this design from another streamer. And the background is just random shit posts that I can quickly cobble together in 5 minutes. So I don't have to pay for expensive thumbnails. So yeah, I will like link the VOD channel and stuff maybe later, you know. It'll be really good if people can like just watch that if instead of watching on Twitch, right? Because Twitch is nice and all, but doesn't give us anything. But VODs, however, it does help. So yeah. Anyway, that's enough about that. It was just a little sidetrack, something I wanted to share with you guys before we proceed with the game. But yeah, I've just been having a lot of fun making the thumbnails. Okay, where's the game again? Here we are. Mm. Must be. Yeah, I wanted something that's very easy to make. So I made like the style of shit posted gifs. And way back when, Sella had this bit where he would just take random images and put like my hair on them. If you've seen like the cat cry emote, the one that's over here, hold on, let me put it in chat. If you've seen the cat cry emote, this one, right? Uh, I used to use that GIF a lot in the Discord, and Scylla just pasted a cutout of my hair on it, which I think is a kind of funny, low effort bit to use in a thumbnail. So yeah, that's what I go for. Because you can get like really nice thumbnails done, but that's like what you can get like maybe very cheap ones for like $10 minimum. Hmm. $10 per VOD, I'd be bleeding so much money, and I don't have the time to make them myself. So yeah, I decided to just go for a cheap shit posting style, just because it's quick, cheap, and easy, and also kind of fun. Okay, too late. It has been eaten. I'm starting to go insane with the amount of stuff I have somehow influenced. I mean, it's fine. It's not. It's a community made bit. You know, it's all good. Okay, Van Van says, I think I left something in the oven. I'm just some Zur that chats a lot. Hey, you and me both. Okay, this school is very messed up. He has a bit of skill. I'd say you're pretty skilled when it comes to like editing and making the shorts. I like what you've done so far. Well, he's dead. Huh. It's like Battle Royale Kitchen. I mean, if we're the only survivors, do we win? New strat unlocked? The entire class has gathered to watch Pop's final moments. Shock has frozen the whole crowd as they are motionless as statues. Class bell rings, disrupting the moment, snapping everyone back to reality. It would appear that Pop's enthusiasm for trying new things, despite obvious danger, has inoculated him against poisons of all kind. That's basically the plotline of The Apothecary Diaries. I really love that anime. Are these two just gonna die? That's low-key legal? Yeah. In the real world, this would not fly. Sprinkle says, I'm not sure the professors here make enough money. Yeah, honestly, with what he has to deal with, I agree. Seeing that you're shaken up by the really annoying student and all his nonsense. Yeah, just dying in front of everyone is nonsense. I may need a therapy and counseling. Colonel Sanders says, I'm sorry you had to go through that. Please, let me walk you home. At least he's nice about it. At night, the school building has taken on another vibe entirely. It's dark, it's more than a little spooky. Colonel Sanders stands in the quad's neon glow and speaks softly. Those mashed potatoes you made in class today. Before you go on, I want you to know they're not a great representation of my skills. I didn't even realize I was making them. He says they were amazing. Tasting them, it reminded me of why I became so passionate about food to begin with. Colonel Sanders is getting choked up. Cooking is obviously important to him in a way you find inspiring. Now might be the perfect time to tell him you're developing feelings for him. Colonel Sanders. Yes, Ordy? There's something I need to tell you. Van Ven interrupts rudely and says, Hold it right there. Something I need to tell you first. Oh, jeez. See, when I was a boy, I had a dream that one day I would be the greatest chef the world has ever seen. Ever since that day, I've been working towards that dream. Day and night, never stopping, never resting, and also lifting lots of weight. Yeah, I was just thinking, if he's this buff, he must spend like a ton of time in the gym, right? That is time he's not spending cooking. Pick a lane, man. Kendall Sanders says, we should follow our dreams and with all our heart. Sorry, we should follow our dreams with all our hearts, that our souls may grant them like wishes floating in the shooting. You know, I feel like the writing could be better. It's not bad, but yeah, I've seen better. But then again, it was probably just like a very quick thing done as a marketing stunt, so I can forgive them. What happened to his hair? Wait, I just realized it's a star. Yeah, it took me way too long to realize that. Van Ven is one of my favorite characters for some reason. Yeah, he has very strong himbo energy, but he seems to be like decent. He seems to be like a decent guy when he's not around Ashley. I think she's a bad influence on him. If he stopped hanging around her, um, we could probably be friends. You can't prove that. Yeah, we killed him, right? Sorry, he killed him, right? Colonel Sanders says, I also saw you kill that guy. What was his name? Uh, his name was Student. Van Van says, forget him. We're talking about me. Me. Okay, yeah. The Spork monster is here to fight a hero. You know, Van Van strikes me as very heroic. Never mind. Colonel Sanders says, How dare you threaten me, just as I was letting down my guard and connecting with another chef on an emotional level. Hmm. If he's made of mashed potatoes, can we eat him? It's a turn-based fight sequence. What will you do? Okay, a good defense is a strong offense. Cook with love. I mean, he looks already cooked. Okay, he comes with gravy. Okay. We're just gonna attack, right? Can we just spam attack? Hope to drain his health before he drains ours. At this rate, the semester will probably be over before this fight. Okay, what if I defend? Colonel Sanders says, Vile villain, your reign of terror stops here. Colonel Sanders summons the energy of 1,000 chickens. Why? I don't think they would like Colonel Sanders too much, unless he's a necromancer. We were saved. Very heroic of him. An injured Spork monster spews team into the night. Okay, he came and picked a fight with us. You know what? Yeah. Let's turn him to our side. Ooh, I love magic. Oh no. Yeah. You know what? I think I saw that as a sound alert, right? But I don't think I added it. God Sanders looks so good. Yeah. Propaganda. I don't know if you've seen pictures of the IRL guy. He does not look like that. The image of Colonel Sanders flashed before you. Okay, did he just like carry me home? Like, is this my home? How does he know where I live? I don't remember telling him that. Okay, moving on. He must have helped you get home in your tired state. You don't know what you could have made it without him. What a guy. Is that a chicken in your room? Apparently over here. I was told that this is BTS, but I don't know enough about them to confirm. The only thing I know about them is this. Two things. They're a K-pop band. They are famous. That's the extent of my knowledge. You want to thank him, but you don't have the strength to utter a single word. You feel your covers being pulled up over you as you're tucked in gently. In your dreams, you're together with Colonel Sanders. For some reason, Sprinkles is also there, instructing your love. Hey, whatever you're into, I guess. Dreams are weird, yeah. You wake up on day two and attempt to process the wild visions you had. Were they memories or premonitions? Then there was a secret ingredient that Colonel went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? It's probably because he trusts you so much. Sure, that makes sense. We'll go with that. You meet up with your bestie in front of school. Before you can tell about your encounter with the spork monster, she launches into a story of her own. Okay, no, this might sound strange, but I think I might be. I think I might. Okay, see, we made the good call. We paired them up. Yeah, I don't know why she was put off by. I forgot what he did, but she seems to be kind of crazy for him. Smooth like butter. Oh, wait, what did we talk about? We may have moved on from the context. Oh, he has info on the colonel. We can use him. Do you know that Colonel Sanders enlisted in the army when he was only 3? That doesn't sound ethical. I support Miriam X Pop. I mean, sure. She seems to like him, and hey, if they make each other happy. BTS? Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, like I said, I know nothing about them. I don't think I've heard any of their songs. I just am vaguely aware of their existence. It's not only that, he founded a special unit of super soldiers who all wear the same hats just because he put on a hat one time and thought it looked cool. But Colonel Sanders doesn't even wear a hat, he wears a ribbon tie. You know, I saw something very cursed regarding the ribbon tie. Hold on. Let me curse you all as well. Yeah, this is a very old meme. Hold on. Yep, here we are. Where's paint? This one. Why is his body so little? His little signature ribbon tie? Very big head, little small body. Every time I see the logo, I can never unsee it. So yeah. Only watch BTS without. I mean, you do you, I suppose. It was a ribbon? Yeah, it's not an actual tie. Okay. Either way, it might be best if you took it slow with this new boy, like I am with Colonel Sanders. You know, this is very on brand for me. I have friends like that. They immediately dive onto any new relationship way too fast. And then when it doesn't work out, I have to hear about it. So, yeah, I'm not altruistic. It's just I don't want to be complained to. I am mean friend, confirmed. I don't mind people having like an issue and like tell me about it. The only time I have a qualm with it is they're like, "Hey, this is something that is how would you say this?" They're like, "Oh, I'm going to do this thing." I'm like, you've done this like 10 times in the past and 10 times it did not work out. Why would 11th time be the charm, you know? They do it for the 11th time, right? And then it doesn't work out and then I have to hear the same complaint like again. I've learned to just like tune it out and zone out and go like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah. It's if it's just like a like childish high school drama, I'm not too interested. I think I have Ordy as a bad friend somewhere in my short notes. Yeah, I remember seeing that one time. I found it funny. Miriam says, you and Colonel Sanders, the coolest guy in school, the most famous student to ever attend University of Cooking School, Academy for Learning. You're a thing now? Definitely connected yesterday. Laughing at the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be a thing is definitely not cool. You were great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. We literally met him yesterday. Well, if he's not into me, why did he tell me one of his secret ingredients? Best his eyes light up. Secret ingredient? Okay, okay. I was reading like the dialogue. I thought she was accidentally tricked into smuggling drugs somewhere, but it was actually spices. Okay, she wants to know the ingredient. Make up a fake ingredient. I'll be able to hop into bed. Understandable. We shall be here. Of course, he had to have a horse. Okay, he has a horse, so we're gonna have to stand back. Okay, you are so struck by the sight of him that you lose the ability to speak coherently. Oh, I didn't realize anyone was watching. Don't worry, he knows his way home. Is that kind of dangerous, you know? Bedtime, that made me think of pizza time, and now I remember I have pizza in my freezer. You know, frozen pizzas are not as good as I thought. Maybe I bought like the not good brands. I think I want to try like some other ones to see if they're good. But Yeah, I didn't enjoy them too much. I thought they would just taste like normal pizza. But then again, that may not have been a realistic expectation. I haven't had pizza in a long time. Yeah, I bought one today, right? God, it was good. I ate half of it for lunch and the other half before stream. It was really good. It wasn't a frozen pizza. I bought it like from a restaurant here. This is the one food I treat myself with. You attempt to compliment Colonel Sanders, but the words just don't come out exactly right. What a horseful beaut you have. Okay, being a good friend, Miriam attempts to cover for you. Or he just gets really nervous around people they like. Okay, she needs to like leave now. I mean, they got food poisoning or up alright is gruesome. You should, yeah. You know what? Food poisoning or diarrhea. That is like the golden excuse to get out of anything, right? Don't want to go somewhere, be like, oh, I have food poisoning and diarrhea. I'm just like exploding out of both ends. I don't think I can make it. Immediately, everyone is just like, oh, all good. Don't worry about it, you know? Because if you're like, oh, I'm sorry, something came up. Oh, I'm not feeling too well. Sometimes people might be skeptical, but if you're very graphic and specific, no one asks questions and always say the same thing. Yeah, I got food poisoning yesterday, and for the past 12 hours, I've just been exploding out of both ends. Immediately, no further questions. I just tell people I don't wanna and then put my phone on do not disturb. True, that's what I would do in a social situation, but sometimes it's things like getting out of work or like a group project or work thing, you know? So yeah, there you can't really be honest. And also, my phone is not on Do Not Disturb, but the moment I buy a new phone, I immediately put it on vibrate. I do not know what, yeah, I do not know what its ringtone sounds like. But anyway, that is my guide of getting out of things while seeming polite. She gives you a wink and a smile as if to say, situation handled. Can't blame a girl for trying. And with that, Colonel Sanders disappears into the school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. When you enter the classroom, you see your two rivals, Ashley and Van Van, doing something bad. By the way they're hiding, you know it must be really bad. You do the mute method, constant on and off the mute button. Like to make it sound like the thing is breaking up. Ooh, that's another thing. If you're having like a okay, it depends on your oh no, but it shows like if it's a WhatsApp call, right? It shows if someone has muted the thing. So they will see that your thing is being muted or not. If you want to get out of an internet call, right? Whether it's Discord, WhatsApp, etc., right? What you do is in the middle of a sentence, you put your phone on airplane mode, right? And then from there, it just says on their end, it'll show reconnecting. Oh, lost the signal, disconnected. And then you can just, and then when they text you back, they'll only get like one tick. And then later you can be like, oh, sorry, my phone died. Napping so I can't hang. I'm irritated that after watching you can play this for 5 minutes, someone suggested I played this yesterday. I'm so annoyed. Ow. That's hey, first of all, I am not to be blamed for influencing the people around you. Okay. Honestly, this is less of a dating sim and more of a it's more of just a visual novel where we don't have much in the way of options. Dude, that's genius. Yeah, the whole airplane mode to disconnect the phone gets you out of anything. I wanted to save for the big redeems, and I used that brick. Yeah, it must have really gotten under your skin. Yeah, no shit. Your opinion of Colonel Sanders or Colonel Sanders. Anyway, good night. Well, thanks for stopping by. Good night. Bye bye. Where were we? Like counterfeiting recipes bad, experimenting with restricted ingredients bad, summoning a demon bad. Okay, we're the one with the magical books. Try and get a peek over Van Van's hulking. Why don't I peek over her shoulder? I feel like that would be easier. His shoulders take up half the room, but he sees you coming. Whoa there, little one. I'm not sure you're ready to handle this. Act like you're not interested, but try to get a closer look. Sit near the rivals, but leave your back turned to them. You even hear Van Van mutter something that sounds a bit like a magical spell. However, he notices you eavesdropping. You try to cover your tracks and improvise an excuse. It's time for class, and you're distracting the rest of us who want to learn. Now we've upset them. Ashley says, "Oh, and you're the emperor of cooking, are you? You make the rules?" Van Red says, "I'm not sure you know a good meal if it ate you." Okay, first of all, we nearly were eaten by the mashed potato monster. Being the best chef in the world takes more than culinary skills. It takes creativity. It takes panache, I think is the way it's said. And it doesn't hurt to use a little evil. Honestly, I want to learn magic. If there is a magic route in this game, we're taking it. Forget Colonel Sanders. Love is temporary, but the dark forces are eternal. You finally get a look at what they were hiding and you instantly recognize it. It's a book, just like the one you found after your encounter with the spork monster. It's the same book I found last night outside the court. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what you're talking about. That book is a family heirloom and its contents are secret. Wait, is it two copies or is it one book that I did not pick up and they collected after I passed out? You notice that they haven't been studying the book. They just got popped into the wall. They're tossing potato skins at him as he tries to catch them in his mouth. Before you can dig in any further, you are interrupted by the arrival of more students. It's almost time for class. You watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything. Ashley says, "Who do you think you're talking to? I've never heard such language, even from a stand mixer." Van Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van Van, sending him flying across the room. Ashley says, "Protect me, Colonel Sanders. These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them." Ashley's tone has completely changed that instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely he must know this is a ruse, right? Did that machine just say womp womp? Yeah, it did. Maybe it's a fan of Shy Lily. Who knows? Colonel Sanders says, "Gentlemen, get a hold of yourself. Save it for the arena at least. Or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got a lofty career aspirations to focus on. Yeah, everyone should stay in their lane. Maybe I can help with your business plan. We need to fight her. We already threw potatoes at her once. Let's try something a bit harder." Just then, Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of the class today. He's panting, which doesn't seem abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog. Students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I spent the morning chasing a car all around town, and my tiny little legs are very, very tired. That's adorable. But I'm here now, and I hope you're ready to learn. You rub his furry dog belly. He loves it. After he catches his breath, Sprinkles regains control of the classroom. Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken. Of course. You want to pay attention to the lesson, truly you do. But you can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders. and you miss most of the important parts. Listen, romance is cool and all, but you know what else is great? Passing your classes. I'm gonna go for a second, throw one of the pizzas in the oven. Understandable. Well, Ordy, naturally, this appears to you to be a sample platter. What item do you want to sample? Shimmering pepper? However, your body is not prepared for the heat. The pepper has triggered a intense spice hallucination. It feels like forever as you trip through the universe. Oh, we actually went to the afterlife, I suppose. You must avenge my death, fulfill your destiny. Okay, first of all, I don't care about you enough to avenge anything, so I feel like this guy could just be cut out of the entire game and the experience will not be changed. He feels like a filler episode or filler content. The pepper was the last of its kind on Earth and now it's gone forever. You think to yourself, geez, I should pay better attention. Okay, first of all, why would he just like give that to me? Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim and your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement. Today's lunch will be prepared via timed competitive cook off. Okay, the students are the ones cooking their lunch. Look, I get that they're chefs and all, but if I'm in the middle of classes, the last thing I want to do is be cooking meals. The level of theatrics of these two is off the charts. You know what? They're wasting everyone's time. Well, not with me. I'm on a personal journey to learn to love, to learn to love. Sure, why not? But definitely not to constantly battle. Yeah, this feels like this is giving me Pokemon vibes. Miriam says, "Yeah, stop getting your genres crossed. Don't you have some portable monsters to capture or some?" Well, called it. Miriam says, "How are any of us supposed to get anywhere if we're constantly fending off challenges from every know-it-all with an apron?" Besides, I already brought my own lunch, Ordy. You should have it. It'll give you the energy you need to succeed. Okay, first of all, she needs to eat too. Why is she giving me the food? A special grilled cheese and tomato soup with chocolate milk to wash it down and a tartlet for dessert. You know what? I'll accept. It only takes you about 5 seconds to eat Miriam's tiny food, but it's just what you needed for motivation. You know what? I've learned enough for today. Let's battle. Just as things reach a boiling point, Sprinkle steps in. Surely he'll put a stop to this madness. Why is it so mood? Why is it so small? Ew. Anyway, uh, now, students, please settle down. This is a lunchroom, not a sportsing court. Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least, not until we turn on the time. Oh, okay. Just then, a huge light blasts in your face, flashing the words, "A timer ready." That's what I'm talking about. Okay, there's a lot of dialogue in this, in day two. Okay. You had his chicken and made mashed potatoes and gravy on day one, and you're feeling like you can really impress him again here. It's time to boil some water for the potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. Okay. It always boils 100 seconds after you turn heat on. Okay. That's right. Okay. Oh wait, they were talking about boiling water. And my dinner's gone. Everyone ate everything. Now I'm gonna make instant noodles. That is a tragedy. You have my sympathy. Okay, let's finish this battle and yeah. Okay, how many herbs and spices did you say? 11. I didn't know what I clicked, but I'm glad it was correct. When you were a child, your father told you never to forget where you came from. Every day you met it, blah blah blah. Now would be a great time. So where does it come from? I don't know. I don't even know what the question is. Okay. What is the sound of a success? Sizzling. That's wrong. You notice cold sounds at the corner of your eye. I believe in you, Ordy. He's actually cheering you on. Which would be awesome, except knowing he's watching makes you totally forget what you were doing. Now all I can think about is Colonel Sanders. How many spoonfuls of gravy would take to... Okay, that was not fair. Only one dessert cookbook. Which do you take? Uh... Okay, this is rigged against me. This is no fault of my own. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough in the stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps. Hmm. Did I? Okay, that's a very dumb yeah, I would definitely not shove my hand into a working mixer. Yeah, my hand is definitely mangled. Or you are truly dense? False. You can't prove that. Under this chocolate dome, you'll find a wide array of delights, taking you on a journey of flavor that tastes good and tells a story. I'm gonna ask Ori to do the honor, but since you're injured, I'm afraid pouring the cream of this delicate hot chocolate sauce might be too difficult. It was a ruse all along. At the lore, you literally call the dense one. You know, lore is what how would you say this? We have yet to determine canonical lore. And anything that's written would probably just be what is the word? Not propaganda, but like the gospel, right? Only for me to read it and be surprised as to what's contained within it. So yeah, Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate sauce on top of the dome, causing it to melt away, revealing the ingredients hidden within. Inside, you find a delicate fry. Okay, we find food. Colonel Sanders seems intrigued, but perhaps is not impressed as he dips his finger in the chocolate sauce. Hmm. He places a chocolate-covered finger on his lips. Ashley leans over and whispers something in his ear. A dab of sauce sticks to his mustache. Internalize the rage you feel. Yeah. The flames cause your eyebrows to catch fire and turn to ash. They fall off your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester, perhaps forever. Embarrassed and ashamed of your poor performance, you. Oh. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you he and Ashley are in love and decide to get married. This is very dramatic, okay? It's like the sauce off his mustache. I might get expelled for that. He wouldn't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and awful person. Okay, I do have friends who spiral like this. Try to hide away from him, but he approaches you directly. Right from the devastating loss, but blah blah blah. Should get that checked out. Failure's a part of life, not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before? Well, then think again. I haven't always been the man you see before you, enrolled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, motivated. Well, at least he's humble. I'd have walked other paths, arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an. I don't know how to say that. I was passionate about justice, but failed as a lawyer. People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well kept beard and assume I've got it all together. Which is true now, but hasn't always been. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. I resolved then that I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from getting the best I had to give. Mm. As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside of him, a burning passion. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure. It's honest. It's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I'll create a new chain of chicken restaurants that'll bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Okay, failing is not exactly a crime. Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. Battle scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. It's the spork monster. His eye. I know I said I wouldn't be back after the whole fight to the death. Maybe you don't really want to see me anymore, but I just want to say I was wrong to attack you. I apologize. I know what it's like to always have to look over your shoulder. Monster problems, am I right? Okay. Okay, it's like I was a golden retriever, but I was still a student until one day some mean kids with a magical spell book cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed. Precisely, I procured a copy of it for myself, but somewhere along the way I lost it. I mean, didn't we just steal it from him? Failing at crime is officially a crime. Yeah, it's a crime to try to do it, you know? Like attempted crime is still a crime. It's probably less severe than the successful one. But hey, I'm not a lawyer. Anyway, sounds like there were some bad cooks in the kitchen of life, Orty. Together, I'm sure we can defeat them. A personal invite. Yada yada yada. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. Yeah, he invited us back to his place. Looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Honestly, this is me when it comes to like a live 2D and art. Well, there's something, just a side dish I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. Not sure I've nailed it yet, but up close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to pair with something spicy or something crispy. Both, perhaps? I've got him where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him or keep it a secret? You know what? Reveal it so that he marries us, and then we get 50% of that franchise money. You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in headfirst. You reach into your lunch bag for the special dish you've been keeping on ice all day. Present to you my original coleslaw. They have this in KFC, which means the romancing was a success. Yeah, crime is a bit of a bit of a serious topic, so probably not the place to debate that. Yeah, the shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders's Lux Hideaway. Together, you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so I can admire its taste later and think back to. He's stealing our recipe. He wants to reverse engineer it. That's what. Yeah, okay. We may not have succeeded with the romance in the future. He probably just stole it from us. You realize now would be the perfect time to do some snooping around the room of various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Just here lie the ashes of all my past careers and business failures. Okay, that's a bit dramatic. Zwiwei keeps the secret recipe. Think for a moment. What number is important to Colonel Sanders? Then it dawns on you. So you turn the dial. It opens. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? Adorable little baby boy crosses the floor from the goatee and mustache combo. I guess he was born with it. Hmm. Saul's a gentleman? Yeah. It looks like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. Hmm. I guess these are like. Yeah, by the way, if you look at the pictures. Oh, we can't click them again. That's closer to what it looks like IRL. In the road to Colonel Sanders' house, find a row of his signature white suits hanging within them. If you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. It's a new dish he's been working on and wants you to taste it. I don't usually loan these out, but I must say it does look good on you. Oops. You said now is the moment you make a big move. Well, this is not that we blame you for trying. Understandable. Wait, you know what? It's fine. How far back does this take us? Oh my god. I don't think I have it in me to continue all the way where we were. My voice is tired already. So, we are gonna call it a day here. Let's click the skip button. This one just goes next. It's not like the other one, right? Yeah. I'll have to like manually do that, and that's exhausting, and yeah. Hold it. Would that work? Oh, it does work. Yeah. Thanks for that. Hold on. This changes things. I tried clicking on it, but it didn't like skip. It's proof that you're dense. No, it's proof that I don't know how things work. Okay. Reveal it, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is so much better. But yeah, this is kind of how the guy looks like IRL. Yeah. We've seen this before. Okay. What is the truth? You confess. Think of developed feelings for you. I, he says, I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Colonel, I honestly think this might be the beginning of something wonderful. Talk later tonight, drift off to a slumber, a dream sequence. You wake up to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. Your thoughts are interrupted by your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast. Your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. Breakfast menu. Taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine in your taste buds, that is. Flatter him. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Hmm. See, we're gonna get that money. Become with emotion, confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears, blah blah blah. Get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is waiting for you. Did I just like not come home? Where are my parents? Been desperate to talk to you about it, blah blah blah. Oh, okay. Oh, she's talking about well, I think it's cute that they have a little thing going on. Okay. Long story short, he took me to his favorite shush house, but things quickly spiraled out of control. What's a shush house? Hmm. I feel like it's a kind of a dick move to explain to. She's like, "Oh, I had a bad date," and you're like, "Well, I had a great one." That's just rubbing salt in the wound. That's a mean thing to do. Okay, okay. Arrive at school, blah blah blah. Okay. Mm. Oh, we have ads. Hold on, we take a little bit of a break. I think my voice is starting to give out a bit again. So I think we'll only have a short stream today. I think like last time we went for like 3 hours, and I don't think I should do that very often, especially lately. Off stream, I do a lot of yapping, like to friends and stuff. So I'm like, I need to tone that down, because like I'll like call people, then they'll like chat for like a few hours, then maybe some others will like want to play games, you know, and I have a yappy nature, so I think I do need to rest my voice a bit more. Maybe it's the dry air because I didn't have this issue when I was in Malaysia. Maybe I should get those little humidifiers. Maybe I should have it on my desk so it's not too bad. I have been drinking a lot of water, which I think helps. Is there anyone here who doesn't have abs? Am I alone speaking to the void? Maybe I should bring back Minesweeper. No, you guys will see me fail at that. I don't wonderful. I'm not alone. I've not been abandoned. Although sometimes it says like, okay, it says 3 minutes of ads, but sometimes people only get like a minute of them. I was getting pizza for a sec. Understandable. Mm. I think hmm. I took today a little bit easy. I didn't get much artwork done. I know it was one of those days. And then when I felt like I had the energy to do it, the electrician guy came over and there was a chance like the power would go out randomly. So I had to keep my computer off. So yeah. It was a bit of a lazy day today. I shouldn't have too many of those. I have commissions to get to. But yeah. I think I'll wait for the ads to finish. Say a little bit of a farewells and we can probably call it a day. You get work done? Not today. But I try my best. Okay, ads are done. Yeah, I think this is where we're gonna stop. So, mm, I meant ever. Hey, you've seen me finish models. Do you want to raid someone? I see a few people, but I don't know. I'm just gonna call it a day. I'm feeling kind of tired. I don't even have the energy for like the little post stream, little raiding and hanging out for a bit. So yeah, raid someone. Okay. You know what? You're right. We should raid people. Who should we raid? Mm, hmm. It's always hard choosing. Okay. Okay. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. We haven't done art in a couple streams, but yeah, it's mostly I was doing some work off stream. It's not ready to be seen live yet. But yeah, hopefully by next stream we can get back to the art and the yapping. So thanks for stopping by, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Okay, I won't even wait for this timer to finish. Dux Ranch raid? No. Let's let's have a proper raid message. You know, let's just have that one. Yeah, Ori raid. You can just copy paste that to when we raid in. Okay, so thanks for stopping by. I will see you all next time. Bye bye. Emote doesn't work for me. Yeah, well, just Ori raid will be fine then. It won't copy the emote. So bye bye.